with Gary. This week, the dynamic Gary will introduce you to all kinds of topics pertinent to this past week of golf. He'll give you some tidbits of information as what's coming up and take you on a tour around the world for all of the golfing highlights. Sit back and enjoy Talking Golf with Gary.
And hello and welcome to episode 156 of Talking Golf with Gary. I hope everybody had a great week and yet another exciting tournament as it came right down to the end of the 72nd hole and into a playoff at the Transitions Championship. And every week just seems to be another close match and always something exciting going on so far this year on the PGA Tour. And there was a lot of action this week as the ladies also got back into the swing of things, as well as the Champions Tour and the European Tour had their big event in Spain, as well as, the Nationwide Tour was the only tour that was off. So lots of things to cover, and let's get right to it. As Luke Donald returned to number one in the world, the same way he got there the first time, Donald rallied from a 3-shot deficit on Sunday at the Transitions with a 5 under 66, then won a 4-man playoff on the first extra hole with a shot out of the rough to about 6 feet and a birdie putt that curled in the left side of the cup. He gave a big uppercut with his right fist to celebrate the end of a wild day at Innisbrook and a devastating finish for Ernie Els. Els was among 8 players who were tied for the lead at some point in the final round, and he had a 1-shot lead going into the closing stretch known as the Snake Pit at the Copperhead course. The Big Easy missed a 4-foot birdie putt on the 16th and then badly missed a 4-foot par putt on the 18th hole that caused him to miss the playoff by 1 shot. He likely has to win in the next 2 weeks to avoid missing the Masters for the first time since 1993. Donald ended Rory McIlroy's 2-week stay atop the world ranking list. He first reached number one in the world by winning a playoff over Lee Westwood at Wentworth last May. This required more work as Donald had to beat Jim Furyk, Robert Garrigus, and Bae Sang Moon in a sudden death playoff. Furyk, who closed with a 69, had an awkward shot that did not go well and ended in a bunker, and Bae missed his birdie attempt from 18 feet. Garrigus almost birdied the last 2 holes in regulation for a 64, and he pounded his fist and was happy to get into the playoff. Hit a nice shot on the first hole of the playoff, but then could not convert the putt for the birdie. Then it was up to Donald, who had hit a superb shot from the rough that barely cleared the bunker and came within that 6 feet, which he knocked in for the victory. Scott Piercy, who finished his 62 before the lead is teed off, joined Els, Ken Duke, and Jeff Overton in a tie for 5th. Overton and Piercy had birdie chances on the 18th, neither knowing it would be enough for a playoff. Duke missed a 5-foot par putt on the 17th hole to fall out of a 6-way share of the lead. The Big Easy needed to win to secure his spot at Augusta National, and he was poised to do just that. He had a great round, a flawless round until the very end, but he missed a 4-foot birdie putt on the 16th that would have given him a 2-shot lead, then fell back into a 6-way tie with a tee shot that sailed well right of the par 3 17th green and left him no chance of getting it close to save par. He pulled his approach into the light rough left of the flag on the 18th, chipped below the hole, and seemed a lock to be in the playoff, but his par putt never even touched the hole. And in the Champions Tour, Lauren Roberts won by 2 strokes at the Toshiba Classic. Despite 3 bogeys down the stretch, Lauren Roberts walked off with the title on Sunday at that Champions Tour event. Roberts birdied the final hole for a 2 under 69. He finished his 13th Champions Tour title at 8 under par. Second round leader Mark Calcavecchia fought back from a terrible start to shoot a 2 over 73. That left him tied for second at -6. He was joined there by Tom Kite and 2008 champion Bernhard Langer. Joey Sindelar, Mark McNulty, and David Eager shared fifth place at 5 under par at the Newport Beach Country Club. And Julian Kesney tied the course record with an 8 under 64 to win the Andalusian Open for his first European Tour victory. The 31-year-old birdied 4 of his final 5 holes to finish at 17 under, winning by 2 strokes ahead of Matteo Manassero of Italy. Kesney, who has been to European Tour School, Q School 7 times to seek his playing card, also earned a 1-year tour exemption to the end of 2013. And that's big for him. He also qualified for November's WC Champions event at Millions Hills in China, along with a start in next year's Volvo Champions. Kesney has enjoyed 6 other lesser victories in his 8-year pro career, including 2 on the secondary Challenge Tour. 10 of Kesney's French golfing colleagues and their caddies showered France's 26th European Tour winner in champagne. Among those was Thomas Levet, who won the 2008 Andalusian Open, the last time it was played on the lower course. Eduardo de la Riva of Spain, who led by a stroke going into the last day, shot a 70 to secure third place at 14 under. Miguel Angel Jimenez, the tournament host, who was looking to become the oldest winner on the European Tour, carded a 71 to finish at 11 under. And Yani Zhang is at it again as she won her second LPGA event of the season and her 14th overall with a one-shot victory over Na Yin Choi and former number 1 Ai Miyazato. 5 birdies in a stretch of 6 holes in the middle of her round at the Wildfire Golf Club in Phoenix swept Zhang to the lead, and although Miyazato and Choi chased hard over the closing stages, they could not catch the dominant force in women's golf. Both Choi and Miyazato had the lead through the early stages of their rounds, a double bogey at her 8th hole costing Choi dearly, and Miyazato unable to withstand the mid-round charge of Zhang. So Yeon-Roo was 4 shots back in 4th position. Defending champion Kari Webb was in line for a top 10 finish early in the day, but dropped shots early in the round that cost her that chance. And that's going to wrap it up for this week of recap. And it's a good time to take a break and be back right after a few messages. For all the listeners of Talking Golf with Gary, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Over 75,000 titles to choose from in many different categories, including science fiction, mysteries, biographies, sports, computers, you name it, they have it. To download your free audiobook today, go to audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/Talking Golf with Gary for your free audiobook today. You can now hear our show while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. On-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episode is always available for you. No syncing needed and no memory or storage wasted. Available for your iPhone, Android phone, WebOS phone, or your BlackBerry. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher, smart radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
This is Barry from Mets Musings. Be sure to tune in weekly to Gary and myself at Mets Musings at Podomatic.com and also on iTunes.
And remember, if you'd like to be part of the show, drop us an email at talkinggolf@gmail.com or call the 24-hour voicemail hotline at 516-619-6341. And you can check out the show every week at tgwg.podomatic.com, or you can check the new video version out at YouTube at Duffer Sports, or at Vimeo, also at Duffer Sports. So give it a check out at either one and see what we're doing here. Okay, and it's back to other news. Tiger Woods is feeling better, and he's returning to practice on last Friday and declared himself ready to play next week. Woods said in a story on his website that his left Achilles tendon felt good and that he would play in the two-day Tavistock Cup exhibition that starts today and then the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. Woods withdrew from the Cadillac Championship on Sunday after 11 holes with what he describes as tightness in his Achilles tendon. He said he didn't want to risk further damage. One day later, he said doctors told him it was only a mild strain. It was the left Achilles that caused him to miss 2 majors last year. Woods has won at Bay Hill 6 times. It will be his final tournament before the Masters begins April 5th. And former British Open champion Paul Lowry and 2-time Masters winner Jose Maria Olazabal withdrew from the Andalusian Open this past weekend. Lowry, the defending champion at Parador de Mayaga, picked up an upper respiratory infection while competing last week in Miami, while Olazabal has a right foot injury. Both Lowry and Olazabal, the European Ryder Cup captain, are expected to be sidelined until next month's Masters tournament or at Augusta National. Lowry is ranked number 45 and needs to be in the top 50 to be assured of playing at the Masters for the first time since 2004. Olazabal, as a past champion, has his spot in the field assured. And now let's go to the calendar.
Now it's time to do the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar. Oh, hooray, let's sing the calendar. Now it's time to do the calendar.
And this week on the calendar, we've got the Arnold Palmer Invitational. It takes place at the Bay Hill Golf and Country Club, and Martin Ladd will be defending his title. And on the LPGA Tour, they'll be playing the Kia Classic with Sandra Gao defending. The Champions Tour is playing in the Gulf of Mississippi at the Mississippi Gulf Resort Classic. Tom Lehman defends there. And finally, the European Tour is in Morocco playing the Hassan II Golf Trophy with David Horsey as the 2011 winner. And the Nationwide Tour is playing at the Chickamauga, Louisiana Open with Brett Wederick defending. And that's the final of that. Now we'll move to birthdays. Well, we don't seem to have our birthday song, so there really isn't too much going on in the way of birthdays. Just one this week, as on the 24th of March It's Pat Bradley, the LPGA champion, and the aunt of PGA champion Keegan Bradley, turned 61 years old. So congratulations to Pat Bradley. She was on television a couple of weeks ago following young Keegan around as he was playing in a tournament near her home. And that's going to wrap it up for this week of Talking Golf with Gary. I hope everyone has a great week and enjoy the Arnold Palmer Classic, the Invitational at Bay Hill. And we'll be back next week with all the action recap for you right here at Talking Golf with Gary. And we'll see you then.